What it do, Grizz Nation? It's your boy, Evan Hayes, the co-host of the No Bluffing Podcast, and I'm back with another post-game bounce. I will be giving my positives, my negatives, and my overall insights for last night's game against the Philadelphia 76'ers. But first, a little rundown. The Grizz were able to get a 124-107 win over the 76'ers in Philadelphia and push their records to 4-3 on the season. It was a good collective win with 7 guys in double figures and 4 guys getting double-doubles in one game, the third time this happened in team history. Jaren Jackson Jr. was the game-high scorer with 27 points. Jay Huff was second in scoring with a career-high of 20 points in over 14 minutes. Might I add, with 5 threes on the game. Ja Morant, the head of the snake, had 18 points and 12 assists. Jalen Wells, in his second career start, had 15 points. Santi Aldama had 10 points and 13 rebounds. Scottie Pippen Jr. had 12 points and a career-high 13 assists. And Zach Edey, with his first career double-double, had 10 points and 10 rebounds. On Philly's side, Tyrese Maxey had 23 points, Caleb Oubre Jr. had 14 points, and Jared McCain off the bench had 19. My positive takeaways for this game were the assists, pace, and ball movement, the dominance that the Grizzlies exerted in the paint, the depth that the Grizzlies showed, and the better but not perfected minutes distribution for head coach Taylor Jenkins. Let's get into the positives. The Grizzlies out-assisted the 76ers 35-22. The pace was there. The flow was there. There was a lot of open shots at the rim. The offense seemed to have the energy and the jolt of life that we haven't seen over the past few games. We saw it last game against the 76ers, but again, in this game against the Bulls and the Nets, we didn't see it. So you love to see that. Your two leading guards with Ja Morant and Scottie Pippen Jr. both combining for 25 of your 35 assists. You love to see that. Hopefully we can see this trend continue into the season. Dominance on the inside. The Grizzlies out-rebounded the 76ers 52-33 and had 70 points to their 34 points in the paint. If you're going to win on the boards and points in the paint, it's a recipe to success almost every game, and the Grizzlies definitely did that. With so many guys that can get to the rim so easily, we should see this happen every game with guys like Zach Edey and Santi Aldama and Jaren Jackson Jr. that live in the paint. That's something that should be a calling card for the Grizzlies this season, and hopefully we see that down the line. Depth, as I mentioned before, 7 guys in double figures. You love to see that. Not a lot of teams can say that they can go as deep as the Grizzlies. They have so many guys that can contribute as the Grizzlies, which is something that you love to see. And a comforting fact for me and for all the Grizz Nation, when Vince Williams Jr. and Gigi Jackson Jr. come back, those are also 2 guys that probably will be coming off the bench that will add to the bench distribution, add to the bench depth, add to the spark plug that we can feel off the bench. I wouldn't be surprised that when everyone is healthy, and also Luke Kennard, I wouldn't be surprised when we're healthy that we are top 5, top 3 in bench scoring because we have the talent that we could be. And lastly, the minute distribution for head coach Taylor Jenkins. You have to give a small caveat. We have so many guys out, so Taylor Jenkins didn't have a choice but to play his best players and only 10 guys. But, hey, you got to give credit where it's due. There was no lineups on the floor that didn't look like they shouldn't have been out there together. He didn't play 10 guys in the first quarter like we've seen before. This was the first time all season that Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. both played over 30 minutes. They both played 31 minutes apiece. You love to see that. A small critique could be that they still didn't have the most minutes on the team. Jalen Wells and Santi Aldama were 1 and 2 in minutes. Jalen Wells played 36 minutes. Santi Aldama played 35 minutes. But, hey, you got the win. There's something I would like to keep my eye on further into the season to make sure that Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja Morant, and when Desmond comes back, Desmond Bain play the most minutes on the team. But, hey, you got the win. Got to give credit where it's due. Negatives. I only had really one real negative. It was still 3-point defense. The 76ers shot 41% from the 3-point line this game. They went 19 for 41. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. In today's NBA, every team's going to shoot 30 to 43s a game, but giving up 19, and some of those shots were open, you don't like to see. So hopefully we can mess with the philosophy or change something in our scheme to make that happen. Our on-ball defense was a lot better. There wasn't a lot of straight line drives to the rim. That's how Zach Edey was not in foul trouble. Jaren Jackson Jr. was not in foul trouble. Our on-ball defense and our rotation were better, but they still gave up a little bit to me on the threes, and that's something that's been a detriment for the Grizzlies for the past maybe 2-3 seasons. So hopefully it clicks one of these days that if we run into a team in the Western Conference like the Nuggets or the Lakers or anybody that can has prolific shooter, or the Mavericks or anything that has prolific shooters, that may be a recipe for disaster and to our detriment. But overall, we got the W. Just a few shout outs. I want to shout out Jalen Wells, who not only had 15 points in second career start, but also played great defense on Tyrese Maxey. He held Tyrese Maxey to an inefficient 8 for 19 on the day. Yes, he had 23 points, but someone as a prolific scorer as Maxey is going to happen. But shout out Jalen Wells. Ja Morant is now third in the league in assists. He's tied with, I believe, Nikola Jokic and Trae Young for assists. He has averaged 9.8 assists on the season. You love to see that from your point guard. Ja Morant seems like he's just in the mode where he's just taking what the defense gives him. He knows every game he's going to see double and triple teams, but he's not forcing the issue. He's trusting his teammates more. Something that you love to see. I also want to give a shout out to Zach Edey. First career double-double. Every game it seems like he's improving. He mentioned in his post-game presser that he seems to just be getting comfortable every game, taking it game by game. He knows his minutes aren't going to be as high as they were today every game, or hopefully not as low as they've been in the past, but he's maximizing the minutes that he does have, which you love to see. Jaren Jackson Jr., matchup nightmare. In the fourth quarter, he kind of slammed the door, not single-handedly, but he kind of helped slam the door on the 76ers, where there was in all three phases of the game, was getting to the paint, getting to the free throw line, or even shooting the three ball. He was doing everything for the Grizzlies. Not a lot of guys in this league can guard Jaren Jackson Jr. number one. I feel like he realized that last season, and now we see him bringing that to fruition this game. My last shout-out goes to J Huff. What a pickup, man. J Huff has been nothing but great for the Grizzlies. Another career high for him. This is his second career out on the season. He just gives that oomph, that spark plug off the bench that we haven't had in the previous season. Having a 7-footer that can defend the rim and stretch the floor is a skill that you can't trade for in the league. And I love that they're keeping Zach Edey in the starting lineup and letting J Huff just run wild in the second unit to have that yin and yang effect on the bigs. Next game, they'll be playing the Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully we can get a game back on the Nets, as we dropped them. As we all know, we dropped them a few games ago. But we playing in Brooklyn on Monday. So hopefully the Grizzlies can get their act together and get that win. But then their next home game will be November 6th as the LA Lakers come to town. Two very winnable games for the Grizzlies if they're on their game. And if we keep playing like this, then that will happen. But that's all my thoughts on last night's game. I appreciate y'all tuning in with me on the post-game bounce. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow to my show, the No Bluffing Podcast, coming on at 12 o'clock Central, and tuning into all the shows on No Bluffing Network. Y'all see me again in a few weeks for another post-game bounce. I appreciate y'all tuning in with me. And again, go Grizz.